I'm sick of being in this court thing. What do I do? What do I do? Watch the Alpo Show, the human spirit experiment. Open your eyes. The show starts now.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. Are we in a matrix? Is the world rigged? Social media rules the whole world, baby, you dig? The Alpo Show is in the know. The human spirit experiment will help you grow. The show starts now.
And welcome. Happy holiday, happy Memorial Holiday as we remember all our veterans. Sending out love. We all know where you're at. With Mother, all those who've passed. Yeah, it is true. This is the Alpo Show, the human spirit experiment. Yes, we all are under experiment. Before we start, please subscribe to my channel and smash that button there, that bell, so you can be reminded, like we remind on each show. Children laugh 400 times a day. An average adult laughs 15 times a day. Somewhere on the way, we have lost 385 laughs a day. So one of the things that we need to always figure out a way is to laugh. Speaking of laugh, today we're talking about what if Donald gets reelected president in 2024? Well, the world won't be the same. Don't think this man has not gone away by any means. Any means. And remember when he was running everything on Twitter, and now everything is run on Twitter? So yes, he is a revolutionist in the world that we live in, which is the Matrix. The Matrix is really an allegory of the current extremely anti-human socio-economic system where the majority doesn't even know he is born to be a slave, public debt with interest, and where the machines are a symbol for the unfeeling psychopaths who made and run this system. And where do they want us? They want us with our head in the sand. Where do they want us? They don't want us hearing anything. They don't want us seeing anything. They don't want us speaking anything, because where do they want us? They want us in the metaverse, where we'll be quiet. Should we be quiet? Or are we going to make the necessary changes first within ourselves, being an adult of our spirit, an adult of our surroundings, an adult of our decisions, coming from the spirit itself, Mother? We become an adult of our spirit. So this is why we look at all the world around us, so we can make sure that we're making the correct spiritual decisions in our lives. So now let's start here with Donald Trump. Donald Trump. He hasn't gone away. So the only question is, will he become the 47th president? We're going to go over this. Make sure you stick around here, because we got the answers. The first question is, could he run as an independent? Obviously, he did not get along with the Republicans. I would absolutely give that a no. I do not see him running as an independent. I see him running under the Republican Party. And of course, the first thing that he did, and will do again, is divide the Republican Party, as Mitch McConnell, who is never for him the moment. It's hard enough to run an administration when your leader, the majority leader, wasn't helping you at all. It's interesting. Party, Republican Party, Democratic Party. Oh yeah. Party is how everything is run over there, right? I mean, they're the ones having the party. Have you ever seen it symbolically when you see they have their big press dinners and they have everything, and they don't have to wear a mask, but the servants have to wear masks. Okay, that's a side note here. right? So we already know that Trump has many enemies. He got him the very first day. Okay, so now let's review about Donald Trump. I think that I just turned 65, so I've been around. I've seen him all the way back in the 70s, 80s when he was around, and so I would describe the 4 Donald Trumps. Okay, now the 4 Donald Trumps. Number one, the Donald before he was president. Now, the Donald before he was president was a man who had a #1 television show, who had rap artists wanting to be him, who was a traveling international celebrity, however you want to put him. He was also a businessman, and so he became famous, hugely famous. So there was this Donald character, and he also could do anything he wanted, right? The Donald. We used to call him the Donald, right? See, I don't remember watching The Apprentice. I didn't watch TV then. I'm just saying. I knew who Donald Trump was, and I think almost everybody in the 80s and 90s from on knew who Donald Trump was until he became Donald 2. And Donald 2 started running for the election. And when he started running for the election, again, he was in between, the Donald, and now he wants to be an elected official. How is that possible? Okay. And lo and behold, with all the crap that he got, remember all the crap from Hillary Clinton saying everything was rigged, that he was a Russian spy, all this stuff. It's all changed before he was president. He became this politician. He became a politician who's just going to jump, not from Congress, not from senator, not from a representative, but not even an ambassador. He jumped from Donald the Don to, and then out of the wild, moment he became this administration of the federal government. They don't even know if they can stop. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. I think that's better. Let me know if you can hear me better. Okay. All right. Where was I? So right from the very gate, he knew he had many enemies. Right from the very gate. If you can imagine thinking you've got people that are your friends, you're going into battle, and the ones you think you got your back don't have your back. Okay. Okay. Thanks for that. Thanks, Chuck. Um, so so here he is here. Now he's President Trump. All right. And then he gets defeated. All right. And again, all this stuff says there's something, could have been something with the vote. If you watched 2,000 Mules, Dinesh Sosha, check that out. Okay. It's called 2,000 Mules. It's on Netflix. You might be able to get it on, Netflix out there. Definitely check that out. Okay. So now he's a civilian guy. And he was quiet there for a while, right? So we have this civilian Trump that's still involved. All right. We see that he's still involved with everything. So can he make it all the way through to whether or not he can actually make it? Now you're seeing his competition, who looks like Ron DeSantis. He hasn't said anything about whether or not the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, competition there. So he hasn't quite figured out whether or not he's going to be in on this. All right. So now, okay. So we're at the 4, but now let's just go into the future here. Let's go into the future and let's look at let's just say he's going to get reelected. All right. So let's just say President Trump is reelected January 21st. He takes over office 2025. All right. So now on the first day, we can almost be guaranteed that he's going to get impeached. They're going to try and impeach him even before, because they did it the first time, right? See, what we have here is it's called the propagandist machine, but let's just call it the propagandist industrial complex, okay? And that is information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view, even if it's not true. So no matter what, just like when they did at the beginning, they are going to go after him. All right. So now here he is on the first day. And I think the one thing that we all got to give it up. We're going to have to give this one up right here, right now. Immediately, Trump would be much smarter. If anybody knows how many times Trump has gone back, he's probably filed bankruptcy 8 times. He comes back every time. And we can almost guarantee that he would be much, much smarter this time, because he was a rookie in something that is big as nothing that you or I could even conceive, when you conceive the whole administration and being the one that has to run it. So now he would be picking only people this time who he trusts. That's number one. I think is going to make him smarter. All right. He also he should have the House. All right. And then he'd have to figure out all those people, whether or not they're for him or against him, instead of certainly be for him. He's also going to have to look at the military. Immediately, we see that the military is going to be expanded by then, way bigger now. We could be going into Ukraine. We're already in Yemen, Somalia, Libya, Syria, we just got out of Afghanistan. You see, we're at wars with other places, but in Ukraine is the big one here, okay? Also, you have to deal with the border. Look at the border, how bad it is right now. He started it, built the wall, it never was built. We see what the results of are from that wall not being built. And who knows how many millions will be in here by the time and if he becomes reelected. Also, the wars. What wars are we going to be at time? Will Biden get us in a war with Taiwan, with China, in other words? So he could be walking into a hornet's nest here, right there, right now, by this time that it comes. All right. Also, inflation, um, massive inflation, massive debt. Okay. So Biden spent 2.5 trillion last year. This year they're predicting they're only spending 1 trillion debt. Okay, in debt. Okay, this is in debt. The United States is $30 trillion in debt, ladies and gentlemen. 30 trillion. And this is why you're going to see that inflation is going to be the new nation. Okay? Because he's going to have to deal with this. And it could literally send us into a recession. I do believe we're in a slight one already. Okay, from everything I check also not from on the inside here in the United States. You have to go look on the outside. You have to go find out what's going on in Australia. They're all talking about us. Australia, all Europe, they're all talking about us because we're the ones who are the leaders. They talk about us. Believe it or not, they do. There's news. There's all kinds of news affiliates that just deals with what's going on with us. All right. The next thing that's going to be one of the hardest is the international treaties that have already been brought up, that have changed. Remember the WHO. All right. Everything just went underneath the World Health Organization. What did Trump do? He got us out of the World Health Organization. So here, by the time he gets back in, his hands could be tied. His hands could be tied. And, we could be being ruled by an international organization like the WHO. Also, NATO. People thought NATO, when first NATO started, this is way back, they thought NATO would already be broken up by now. What is the big deal here? What is it causing? Well, ask Russia, ask China, who will all have nuclear weapons. And the last thing somebody wants to do is be stupid enough to push that button. Okay. And then now here recently, the World Economic Forum, who says they're taking over the world. They're going to be one banking system. This could all be set in Donald Trump's hands or lap by the time he gets there. The whole world has changed. By the time he gets there, it's going to completely change. You see it now. Also, the United Nations. Remember, we have never, ever voted to go to war through Congress since World War II because we've been going through the United Nations, which supersedes it. Okay? So this is all getting ready to fall. It's lap. All right? Here's another thing. Probably nobody will understand it here now. The robot nation coming. There's like 30% more now robots that's working in the workforce now. Elon Musk is building a massive amount of robots. I don't know how much. I don't want to say the number, but it's thousands. Also, so he has to deal with the robot nation, not to mention the racial divide that's been created and that's going to be put into the educational, not to mention the transgender thing. This is all, he's just going to be dropped in his lap by the time he gets there. Now, the divided wokeness, remember the riots hit up? You have not seen anything until this happens. The riots could be big time riots. So, just to let you, Don, you're going to have a lot of work on your hands if you decide that you're going to run and that you're going to get elected. And believe me, the world is changing. And by the time he gets here, we don't know. You also have to take into consideration his health. You know, he's born in 46, so would he be 80 years old in a few years? So you have to take into consideration of that. I mean, I know people are running things older now, but geez, 80 years old. I know, was Ronald Reagan 80? I think he was too. You know, it's a hard job, and I mean it's a hard job. So again, you have to consider your health. So I hope this gave you a little insight on Donald Trump. It is possible that he could get reelected, and if he does, this world is not going to be the same one that he left when he was defeated by Joe Biden. Now we'll be back here at 9:00 tonight. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties here. I hope it didn't destroy everything. But I hope we got this straight here. So sorry about any technical difficulties. Come on, and we're gonna at 9:00. We're going 9:00 Pacific. We're going to be talking about a little bit about relationships, on what a woman and how relationships have changed, but what's the good old formula work? I got a young lady who came out and just gave a great one. It's going to be a TikTok. We're going to do some other things too. Thank you so much, and we'll see you at 9:05 Pacific.